Hello everyone, welcome back. So today I'm going to continue working on this perform CRUD operation in ReactJS using the Firebase database. In the previous video, we have covered the how we can fetch the data from the Firebase real-time cloud database, and in this video, and also we have covered that how we can hide the sensitive database connections. And in this video, I'm going to apply some CSS like this because we need to achieve the target like this. And I'm going to add the create option for employees and also the delete and as well as update option. So let's get started. We are not going to spend more time on thing, and now I'm going to apply some CSS. I'm going to share this code on this GitHub project, our/React.js complete course. And you can, if you have not subscribed to my channel, you can subscribe to my channel. Amar Pervez. You can find out all the videos of the React.js developer course, right, guys? So let's continue and working on this. So now I need to apply some CSS. So what I'm going to do, uh, I will go here and I'm going to remove this all this code, right? I do not need this. Cool, guys. And now I'm going to say here, I'm going to apply some CSS here to this. So I can say first yeah. So first we need to see how we are actually structuring our application. So I can apply the CSS to IL and as well as to UL. So it's actually a collection of lists. So yes. So first what we are going to do, I'm going to apply the CSS to this part, employee, to this. So here I'm going to say dot employee class name like this, and I've already written the CSS. So I'm going to share the CSS as well as with you all. Don't worry, guys. And now after that, I'm going to say it. Okay, great. It looks good to me. It looks good. Now I'm going to use the CSS here. We have already imported the CSS. What I need to do here now, I'm going to use this CSS. So I will say here class name and then to pass like this employee class. Now check this out. Great, guys. So it looks pretty good, and now I need to apply some H3 refs and all this stuff, um, so that we have a one consistency throughout our application. So now I need to pass the H. Okay, we need to say here like this. And I'm going to say classes and dot employee. Inside the employee, if you have any H3 ref, you need to pass like this. So if we go and check this out, great, guys. So it looks pretty good. Awesome. So now I need to add two buttons here like this, edit and delete buttons. So what I need to do here, we need to create edit buttons here in our application. And it's not a very difficult thing. All you need to do is you'll simply go here in ally and you're simply going to say this, and I'm going to name it delete employee and cool. Delete and edit employee or update employee. Edit, edit employee, right? So I need to pass some CSS through this. Now, if you see a great, guy. So now if you see it, doesn't look much pretty good. So I need to pass some CSS here, and I've already written the CSS. You can easily download from my my source code page from GitHub, because in the on the GitHub I'm completely uploading all the source codes. So you can download and use that. So now if I go and check this out, great, guys. Added employee and delete employee. So we fetch the data from this, and now we are doing some stylings. It looked pretty good now. Okay, so the next thing which we are going to achieve is now I'm going to add the top bar like this, and we can actually add some data, and we can actually refresh this data. So now what I'm going to do here, all I need to do is I will go in the app.js, and again here I will suggest you to make a div here. Great, guys. And inside this div you need to create a form so that you can create form, or it's up to you what way of writing styling you prefer. So I'm going to say here that you need to write input field, input, and some placeholders, enter name or employer name. It's up to you, whatever you need to pass like this. right? I need to bind these values, so I'm going to say, so I need to pass some use states. You can actually create the object or single value, it's up to you. So I'm not going to create the objects right now. I'm going to make it simple, and I can say name and set name. So don't worry guys, it's up to you. We have already covered these things in a previous video. Now I'm just focusing on the main part of our video, name, right guys? So now I'm going to add age, and then we have email, salary, and department. Great guys. So I'm going to add, it's up to you. You can set an object and you can use that. Don't mix up the things or make it difficult for yourself. You can just simply create a uh, object here and you can use that as well as. So because I in the previous videos I've explained all these things in detail, so that's why I'm not uh, going to explain that in this video. And salary, and then I'm going to set salary, and now that department and set department. Great guys. So now I'm going to say age and email, salary, and department. Looks good. I'm going to pass age and email, salary, department. And I can say it like type is equal to, we can pass number. Okay, let me just check this out. It looks good. Great, guys. So now we have these fields. Now I'm going to say that we need to add some BR here. So actually, it looks good. Okay, great. I'm going to copy this and paste this here and like here. So I'm actually doing stuff like this because we need some spacing. Great, guys. So now I'm going to pass some CSS for this input fields because it's not looking pretty much good now. So all I need to do is I'm going the CSS and here after we can add before this buttons like CSS. So now it looks good now. Great, guys. It looks good. I need to add some background like this. So it looks pretty, it must look good. So what I'm going to say it, I can say like this. I can add a CSS here and I'm going to say it like create employee class, something like this. And I'm going to name it cool. And I'm going to use this class here in this div. I'm going to say it cool. If we go and check this out now, great guys. So now it's look pretty much good and it's awesome. So now what we need to do, we need to add two buttons here now. Button one with create student and button create employee, and the second button with create or cancel changes. So now I'm going to say it. I need to add some B. Yeah, okay. I'm going to say it button create or update because we are going to perform both works. And I'm going to cancel changes. Cool, guys. If we, yeah, we this button is already CSS already applied, so you can say great, guys. So now I need to click on the create employee, and it needs to update this database, right? And it also need to refresh this. So what I'm going to do here now, I need to work on. I need to create one more function here, and I'm going to say it create employee or handle employee. It's up to you. Whatever you need to write here, right? There are no restrictions. So I'm going to make it async because it's going to talk with the database, cloud database. So now I'm going to say it. Okay, you can say await and we need to add doc, and at the top we need to add this. It's by default added. So now you need to pass the student reference, because in the student, uh, in the employee actually collection ref, we have made the connection to the database and as well as the table name. And here we need to pass the object. So I'm going to say name. We are getting the name from the name field. And then I'm going to say it age from the age field. And then we have email for email. And then we are going to say it salary. And I need to pass number and salary, because we are supporting this number type. And then we have department, and it is going to say department, uh, like this. Cool, guys. So we have created this, and now I'm going to check this out. It's working or not. So let's do that on click. Okay, guys, great. So now I need to check this out. So I'm going to say Kevin and age 25, email address Kevin at, right, and then I'm going to pass salary and department IT. I click on create employee, and now we need to check this out here. So it seems like we didn't get any new data here till now. Okay, let me just check out my code. Maybe there's some issue. All right, I need to write await and update doc, which is built-in function provided by Firebase. So now we need to pass the new fields here actually, right? So what I'm going to do, yeah, so we need to pass the new fields actually. So it's not a big issue. We actually need to manage this thing. And now I need to pass the new field. So I need to make sure that I'm passing all the data correctly. So first of all, I will check this out. Great, I need to pass the new fields. I have not written the new fields in here, so seems like there's some issue because we are not updating anything. I just refresh this and make sure. Maybe there's some data loading issue. No, it seems like okay. Okay, let me just check this out. I will name something to like this, so it's a little bit confusing here now, right? Because cool, cool, great. Because now it's looking much better. Cool, good, great, guys. Because naming convention is also a little bit confusing. We need to pass some appropriate, which is not going to confuse the developer and the person who is understanding the source code. Okay, so now I'm going to check this out. New name. Yes, it seems like we figured out the problem. So guys, we need to make sure we are connecting the value, but we are not setting any value, right? So I'm going to say it new name, new age, new email. We are making a connection between the values, but we are not assigning any values to them. So cool. So now I'm going to say it on change. I'm going to make some connection, right? So all I need to do is event, and I will pass like this. And I'm going to say set new name event.target.value. So I'm going to do this step for all, for age, cool, salary, and then for department as well. Set new department, which is okay. Then we need to set new salary, looks good. Then we have email, set new email, looks good. And here we need to pass set new age. It looks good to me. So now let's go and check this out. And I'm going to say it Ronald, age 15. And now I'm going to pass salary, department IT. Great. So now if I go and click on this, first I'm going to show you we do not have any new record here. And now if I go here and click on this create button, I hope it's going to be working fine. It will work perfectly. Cool guys. Now I'm going to click on this create employee, and now we need to check this out. Great. So now you can see here we get a new record here, which is IT, age, and department is IT, and all this working is fine. Perfect, guys. So now you see that how simple these steps are to create an employee and fetch the data. And now we need to work on edit and delete part. So they both are also very simple. So first I need to do I need to get the ID to actually delete and edit that. So I will set new ID because I need to store this ID somewhere in our system. So now I'm going to say this like this. Now I'm going to work on the edit and delete part, right? So first I'm going to work on the delete part. It's not very difficult one. So what you need to do first? Okay, let's do the edit part first. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, all I need to do is once we go here on click on the edit button, I need to pass this object. So I need to do some edit perk. So before that, I will go here and I'm going to say this right. Cool guys. So all I need to do is I will go here and so let's go in the code and now you need to create a new object and you will pass const update employee, right? So now I'm going to set employee. Now I'm going to bind these all these values here. I'm going to set some values. I'm going to say it emp.id, then set new name. I'm going to say emp.name, and then I'm going to set new age. So I'm going to set emp.age, and I'm going to set new salary, or no, set new email. I'm going to set emp.email, and I'm going to say it set new salary, enp.salary, and now I'm going to set new department. So I'm going to say emp.department. Great, guys. So now what will happen once I click here? It's actually going to bind the values with that. So now I'm going to click here and I'm going to say it on click. Right. So once I click here, I need to pass this thing and I need to pass the object like this. So I will pass like this here. Cool. So now you are expecting, right, once this page get loads, what will happen? Once we get the data, it is going to actually, but it seems there's some issue. Okay, infinite loop. Why? Why we are getting this error? Okay, it's actually clicking again and again, so we need to pass like this. Until unless we don't click it, you don't need to call this. Cool, guys. So I will click here edit and it will get the values for object passed to that constant update employee function, and it is going to load this because I'm going to set some values to the use state. So now that's great. So I'm going to set Sarah. I'm going to change the age to 35 and salary to 85,000. Great. So now I need to click on this and it needs to update the record. So what I'm going to do now, all I need to do is I will go here and I'm going to say it because now we have the unique ID of this employer. So it's very simple thing. We will just go here and I'm going to say it if new ID dot length is, I'm going to say something like this so it can work. I can say dot length is less than one, then we need to execute this course. Otherwise, if the value is greater than one, then it means we have some new value. So in that case, I'm going to say that we need to actually update the employee. Here, update an employee. So I'm going to say it. You first, again, that part, cons, you need to pass the employee doc. So here we need to pass the connection. So I'm going to say doc and DB and class name, table name, and this ID, which is a unique ID. So I'm going to say new ID, right? So now it is going to fetch this, and now I'm going to set cons new values, the values which we are going to update. So I'm going to say all the values almost. So now we have these three values, and then we have salary, new salary. This not number. I'm going to remove that. And then we have department, but I need to write like the JSON object and department and new department, right? So now what we need to do, we need to actually update this, and I'm going to say it await update doc. So once I write here, you can see at the top this part is added, update doc is added. So all I need to do is I need to pass this employee doc, which document we are going to update, and all the new fields, right? So now after this, we can just clear these values, set new ID to empty, set new name to empty, set new age to empty, set new email to empty. We have a lot of other ways, guys. So don't worry, guys, because the main purpose of this video is to show you how we can connect and fetch and do a perform the CRUD operations. So we have many other ways to do all these works. Okay, so there is some error in the code now. So we need to make sure first we need to fix that and then we'll proceed further. What is the error actually? Okay, doc is not defined, so we need to define the doc. Cool, no problem. We are going to define the doc here. So library function, it's a Firebase function. So now, okay. So now if I go and I'm going to create a new instance, it's going to load the function. So now let's do it here. I'm going to change the age and the salary, right? And then I'm going to click here. So I was expecting the change in Sarah's record. So it's not going to update by default. We need to write some function, but I'm going to refresh this. So now you can see the new age 35 and the salary is 85,000. But what I need to do, I'm going to write something, a timeout function. I do not recommend this to use for the small things. You can use many other approaches as well as. It is just for your to show you. You remember we have actually used this one function. We have created one function. I'm going to say it 1000 like 1 second after 1 second. And we have created one function get employees, right guys, in the start of our video. So now you understand the importance of that function we can use here now. Okay, so now let's go and make some changes in this record. Ahmed Parvez, I'm going to say it. I'm going to change the email 12345 abc.com and going to make the salary changes and change. So I'm expecting the new record. So you can see here it's updated by default after 1 second. Once it updated the databases, it updates the record. Great guys. So now I'm going to work on the delete part. It's very simple. All you need to do is so I basically recommend you to do it by yourself, but I'm going to do it quickly. You need to figure it out how we are going to do that. All you need to do is I'm going to create a one more function here, and it's very simple one. Const delete employee. I need to pass the ID, and here I'm going to say it const employee doc, and I'm going to say doc db from table employees. I need to pass the ID, this particular ID, and I'm going to say it await delete doc. This is a Firebase function. I need to use that. It's by default added at the top. So I'm going to set employee doc, emp doc. This is going to delete this one. And now I'm going to set the timeout. 1 second, but I'm going to say that get employees. Cool guys. It's giving error because we have not async it. So now I'm going to use this delete employee. All I need to do is On click, but this time we need to pass the ID as well as. Cool, guys. So go and let's check this out. Okay, great. Now I'm going to remove this Sara record. If once it's deleted, it will get the new record as well as for us. Great, guys. So now if we go and check this out, we have two records. If I'm going to remove one more record, Amir record, once it get removed, it will refresh this after 1 second, and we have only one record. We can add the record like I'm going to say Jerry, Jack 14, and Jerry at abc.com, and then salary 12,000, and department HR. Once we read the record, it will by default update this part, right? So it seems like it's not updating the record. Why? We need to check this out. Okay, length issue, no problem. We will check this out. Why it's not updating this? Because we have just worked on these things recently. Okay, so new ID. There's some issue with the new ID. Yes, we have not cleared this. After creating all the record, I think we need to clear the every record. But after delete, we didn't clear it. No problem, guys. We need to make sure we have clear. We will write a separate function for the clear. I hope it is not going to hurt this one. So let me just try the test. And then, okay, great. Now again, test check this out. I have a click on this. I'm getting some errors. So what was the error? Let me just check it out. Length issue with this employee ID. So it seems like this new ID is empty by default, so we need to pass it empty. It's null by default. So a good practice is we need to pass some default values. So that's great. That looks good. That looks good. And now I'm going to say this. Amir Parvez, my name, and then then age and test salary, and I can say IT. So now I click here and it's going to add the new record. Probably yes, great. So now if I update, it's going to update the record. I'm going to say my age and salary. Great. So it's going to update the new record. So you can see it updates in the record. And if I want to delete, I can delete the record as well as. So deleted my record. So now cancel changes. So on the cancel changes, you can do it by yourself. You need to clear all the states. So that's it from this tutorial. I'm going to update this tutorial on this GitHub, and I hope you enjoyed this complete CRUD operation using the Firebase database. It's really a fantastic video tutorials for all of you, because I know this is going to be really helpful for you if you can now create a cloud database on by yourself, and you can perform all the CRUD operations. I understand it's going to be really helpful for all of you, because for beginners and also for the experts, if you are good in React, you can perform this task easily and enjoy it. So thank you very much, guys, and thanks for supporting me and like my videos and subscribing my channel and also sharing with your friends. And I expect more from all of you. Thanks. Have a nice day, and more great videos are coming on your ways. Thank you, guys.